Alright. So just because it's now November, and the spooky season has now gone and passed us, that in no way means that I can't watch scary shit anymore. Not by a long shot. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to yet another brand new movie review. And I realize that this review may be a little bit on the later side compared to some other YouTubers, but fear not, my friends, I finally got a chance to sit down and watch Possessor. This is kind of a hybrid sci-fi horror flick written and directed by Cronenberg. And yes, this is the son of David Cronenberg, and my goodness, this one is a doozy. Here, we follow an elite corporate assassin who takes control of other people's bodies using brain implant technology in order to execute high-profile targets. So from the get-go, I'm just gonna say this right now, just based off of that concept, this movie is super fascinating to me, and that's probably the biggest praise I can honestly give this film, is the whole concept. The ideas that are swimming around in Cronenberg's mind are just so astounding to me, and the way he portrays these ideas on screen, this is a masterclass, honestly. And keep in mind, this is a director that hasn't really been doing this for very long, so given that he has already reached this level, it is so staggering to me. He clearly takes after his father very, very well. This guy clearly has got a prosperous career ahead of him. I cannot wait to see what else he's got up his sleeve. I mean, just by looking at some of the imagery he's choosing here, and the way he moves the camera around this imagery, you could never tell that he's been a director for as short of a time as he has. It is so precisely crafted, and it is so technically gruesome from beginning to end. By the way, did I say gruesome? Yep, guys, I watched the uncut version of this, and my god, this version holds nothing back. Holy shit. This movie's rated R. I mean, I'm not joking, guys. There is blood everywhere in this film. The bodily damage done to these characters is disturbing. It is absolutely disgusting and stomach-churning at times. Now, I realize that this is going against completely everything I've said over this last month in the Halloween playlist. In case you guys have been keeping up, I've been saying that blood isn't necessarily what scares me. Especially when it feels like a film that just uses blood and gore for the sake of using blood and gore to get that R rating. But here, I was just so wow. Yeah, this film is brutal. Like I've mentioned, the bodily injuries that occur, I could just feel myself want to turn my face away from the screen. And again, I must reiterate, these are absolutely disturbing scenes that I had to sit through. But at the same time, I just couldn't turn away from this film because of how well crafted it is. Aside from the technicals, I think another thing that really works about this film are the performances. Now, before I get into the ones that I really want to dig deep into, I must mention that there are some supporting terms from Jennifer Jason Leigh and Sean Bean. These are two huge names in Hollywood, and both of them give really solid performances, even though both of their appearances are rather brief. And that leads me to Andrea Riseborough and Christopher Abbott, who are the two anchors behind Possessor. They are both phenomenal in here. They are super dynamic and super entertaining to watch at times, especially once the blood starts pouring. No spoilers, obviously, but these are two characters that are pretty much linked parallel to one another. There's some really weird supernatural science fiction-y way to explain this, but honestly the best comparison I can make to this is just, oh man, I feel like if I dig deeper into this, guys, it just goes really, really deep into spoiler territory. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make this comparison after I give my grade. So if you guys are at all curious about that, stay tuned. One thing I'll say though right now that's a bit of a mild spoiler, the mask in this film I think is really, really neat. I'm talking about the main killer's mask, the Michael Myers, if you will. And I'm sure you guys are aware of the one I'm referring to. It's the one on the poster. It's almost like a Michael Myers mask with a lot more somber emotion put into it. And I really enjoy that aspect, but here's the thing. I really feel like that kind of defeats the whole purpose, because I compared this mask to Michael Myers just now, and he is a stone-cold freak of nature. And the thing that makes Michael Myers still so terrifying to me is that he does all this horrible shit, and he never unmasks, and there's no emotion on him, ever. I don't know, I kind of feel like adding the somber element to his mask for this film, it almost kind of defeats the purpose of it to me. And this is a thought that kind of brings me into my main issue with this film. It's almost ironic that I have to say this, but sometimes Possessor can feel like a real slow burn. And the fact that the movie's a slow burn is not a bad thing at all, but honestly, it feels really contradictory to what Brandon Cronenberg is trying to get across here. It's not even necessarily with the mask issue that I have, but this film's storyline is just... I really don't know how to put this. Now, I have seen a fair amount of reviews for this film, and with all that knowledge going into it, I had a lot of really high expectations, because a lot of these reviews that I've seen, but a lot of you guys have been saying that this is the best horror film maybe of the last 5 years. And that's totally fine. See, your guys' opinions are well warranted. This is a fantastic movie still. Again, I must reiterate, I do not think Possessor is a bad movie whatsoever, so just put that thought in your head before you start adding me down in the comments. But in my opinion, over the last 5 years, my favorite horror film, it's only really one option for me. It's Get Out. Why is that? Because Jordan Peele brought a hell of a lot more reality to this story, and it's a lot more down to earth compared to a lot more horror films that I've watched over these last 5 years. He not only hooks you into the story with the brutal reality behind it, Get Out is also hilarious. So I feel like that hooks the viewers in a lot more. Get Out is unlike any other horror film I've ever seen in my life. I feel like it started a new breed for the scary genre. So by comparison, what Brandon Cronenberg is doing here is kind of the more traditional route. You got your blood, your gore, your psychological drama, which is great, but a lot of the time, Possessor just feels kind of lifeless. Maybe that was the whole point, but in short, I kind of wish there was a little bit more intrigue with these characters, a little bit more intrigue with the storyline. I don't know, maybe this is just me being the weirdo who likes to nitpick, but nevertheless, Possessor is a fantastic movie. I'm not trying to discourage you guys from checking it out at all. I honestly do think that this is one of the best new horror films of the year, if not the very best. I'm gonna give Possessor an A-. I told you all, Brandon Cronenberg takes after his father super well. And as I mentioned earlier, I cannot wait to see what this guy has up his sleeve next, and anytime any one of his new films is out in theaters, I'm there. And I honestly can't wait to re-watch Possessor again, because I'm super intrigued by what Cronenberg is trying to say here. But anyways, that comparison to another film that I was talking about earlier, here it goes. Honestly, think of this movie like a bloodier, grittier version of Source Code starring Jake Gyllenhaal. I think if you enjoyed Source Code, it's a similar storyline here with Possessor, I think. If you enjoy scary stuff in general, I definitely recommend giving Possessor a watch. I know it's out in some theaters right now. I watch it through VOD. Whatever floats your boat, however you feel safe watching this movie, I definitely recommend checking this one out. But I'm really curious, have you guys seen Possessor? Do you guys enjoy it? Do you not? I would love to discuss all of your thoughts down in the comments section below. And if you guys are enjoying my content and you guys would like to see more from me down the line, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can so you guys can stay in the loop anytime one of my new videos hits. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like button on your way out too. I'd really appreciate that. You guys are so awesome. Seriously, thank you all so much for supporting the channel so far. Thank you for your patience with me as I continue these uploads over this next month. Obviously, look out for more exciting content coming to the channel very soon, and I am super excited to announce my next retro playlist that I'm going to be doing over this next month. It's another directorial focused playlist in the build up to Mank, which will be released on December 4th. We're looking at all of David Fincher's films. I'm super excited to rewatch all of them, and I'm going to be reviewing every single one of them leading up to Mank. I don't have a set weekly schedule for it, so just keep your eyes out for those reviews pouring in over the next month. And real quick, for those of you who are wondering if I'm going to be reviewing Alien 3 for that playlist, you guys really don't want me to rewatch that one. But yeah, I'm looking to get all of those done before I watch Mank by December 4th. Thank you all again for your support, and look out for all that exciting new content. You guys are the best. With all that being said, back talk, commence.